Hope everybody's having a good day so far. We got something pretty interesting here going on, man. I'm excited just to, I'll do my best to come in and help. People ask for it, so I say, hey, let me do what I can. Um, been a pretty peaceful. It's been a pretty peaceful year for me, man. We just been hanging out, trading. I got Instagram right here live, and then of course we're live here um, on Zoom. But it's been a really, really, really peaceful year. I'll say that. So every now and then, I do what I can to come in and help, man. See what I can do to help. See what I can do to help. So, um, so just a few things that I want to just kind of get out there to let everybody know what's going to be going on here. All right. Number one, what I'm going to be doing here is, you send me an email, right? So I put the email on my Instagram. You send me an email basically, talking about what you are having trouble with when it comes to trading, right? When it comes to trading slash investing slash, your life of, inside of trading, right? Um, the reason why, a lot of y'all saw that I mentioned, I tend to get almost described as like a male version of Wendy Rhodes from Billions, right? And that's always been my angle when it comes to trading, right? The EMAs and the support and resistance and how to see where a stock is going. Of course, I can do that and I can teach that, yes. But the biggest like success factor that has helped myself, but also helped a lot of my clients and students is the simple fact that I can get you here, right? Tell you why am I losing? It's like, oh, are you chasing a lot? Oh, you chasing a lot because you chase women a lot. And you chase women a lot because you got this issue. And you got that issue because you didn't have a father at home. If you fix that, we can get back over here, right? You can eat this, you can take these herbs, you can do this, and that'll help get you where you need to be, right? And so, because I have a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that applies to the market. That applies to the market as well, right? So, let's see, go to the family. Good. What's good, family? Been waiting for this. I'm lost right now with the current market. Yeah. So for people on Instagram, um, if you want to come into the Zoom, because I got a Zoom going on right now as well. If you want to be able to see my screen when I start sharing charts and things like that, you can come over to the Zoom. The link to the Zoom link actually is in my bio. You just go to my page. It's in my bio, right? It's in my bio. You click the link, you know, take it straight to Zoom, right? So this is free. This is I do have a saying. I don't think people take free stuff serious, but I'll put it out there. I got the question, so I'll answer these emails. I'll talk about what we need to talk about, and then we'll go from there. If you use it, great. If not, that's on you. I did my part. Did my part. Um, so let's go ahead and get started. What I'm thinking also before we get started, reading some of these, what I'm thinking we're gonna do with this, man, because people always need like a, when are you gonna be doing this? When are you gonna go live? Give me a time, give me a date. Da 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 da. You know, Jay Z of the stock stuff. I appreciate you, family. What's good? What's good? Um, I will not, to be honest with you. I'm living life. My life is great. To be honest with you, and I don't want to be put on a schedule. I'll be honest with you. Shout out to all the guys who do the scheduled stuff. I think Trap got Trapping Tuesdays. I think of course EYL, Market Mondays. They got Mondays and I think Wednesdays. They do their thing right. That's great. I'm personally, and I think they would agree with me when I say this. Um, I just want to do this shit when I want to do it. To be totally honest, like I don't want to be put on the schedule. So if I don't feel like going live, then I ain't going live. Like I'm a full time trader. I don't have to do none of this, right? So this is just for the family. So it'll be recorded. So if you need to catch it later, cool. But like I'm living life, man. I'm enjoying my family. You know, my family's first. And so, you know, my son said, you know, Daddy, I want to go swimming. F that live. You know, you remember the meme where the dude throw the papers up? Man, F that live. We going swimming, TJ. Shit. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, we live, family. So you know, I'm at this place in my life where I do things on my own time. So I'll be here, you know, more especially when the market is slow. So market's slow today. And of course my so I do have a paid Discord where, you know, we do our thing there. Just to because you have to have edge in this market. And we'll talk more about that, but I try to keep things, you know, to us. So we'll go live and we'll talk about some of the edge we see in the market and we make money there. Um, but when the market's slow, there's no need to go live for them, right? Like so when the market's slow, I think this will be a good time to just break out some questions, right? So I just print off the email and you know, I'll read them here. All right. Also read FU Money. Great book. I appreciate you, family, for sure. Appreciate you. And so yeah, man. So that's gonna be, you know, so if anybody has any questions about that, you know, moving forward, just know there won't be any, you know, solid times. There won't be any schedules. I don't like schedules, to be honest with you. So I won't be operating on a schedule. I do this when I feel good, when I feel like it, to be honest. I'm just being totally honest. All right. So now we got that out the way. Um, I'm gonna ready us some charts. Let's see. So if we need to break down any charts, if I need to talk about anything on this on the live, we can do that. Let's see. So I'm just gonna create some clean charts because I don't want to confuse anybody. All right. Some clean charts. I don't want to confuse anybody. And we'll bring that going. It's Apple. Crazy, solid. We'll be talking about stuff like that too, man. You know, because people come on here and they're like, and I see the side eyes. What you think about these Apple calls, right? We'll be talking about stuff like that, man, because a lot of y'all are expecting somebody to, um, you know, if I get back in the program, DM me, family. We'll talk about how you got kicked out of the program. I'll see what we can do for you. But what my goal is here is to get away from me having to have sex. Like, I don't want to have to make love to your wife for you to get credit. And I'm saying that in a way, I'm saying that in a way so it hits home. So you're like, we may have sex with my wife. No, I'm saying it in a way because I don't want to have to lay down with your wife in order for you to get credit. Because that's what y'all do to us. What y'all actually tend to do is you go, hey, what you think about this? You know, what you think about this right here? And if you write about my question that I got about this stock, then I make money, right? Like that's what y'all do. Is so you put these things out there and you say, hey, tell me what to buy. And if you write what you tell me, like whatever you tell me to buy, if you write about it, then I get to make money, right? That's very similar to saying, hey, tell me how to have, you know, how to please my wife, or hey, come over and help me please my wife, and then I get the credit from my wife, like, ooh, I did it. It's like, no, he did it. He did that. So y'all know I like to have fun with this, man. I like to have fun with this. What's going on, family? It's been a minute. Uh, so yeah. Yeah, just DM me, family. I got you. But yeah, man, that's one of those things that happens. And so my goal is to, you know, help you all, you know, develop the thinking power because it's a thinking game. It's a mental game. My goal is to help you all get the mental side of this game so that you can operate on your own, right? You won't necessarily need me or anyone for that matter. So let's get to it, man. So this is from Terrence. Shout out to Terrence, man. Terrence S. He said, hey, I'm from Layton, Alabama. I'm currently a supervisor in a warehouse, and my team lead tells me daily how I need to invest in the market. His name is Carrington. Oh, shout out to Carrington. That's one of ours. That's one of our guys. Okay. Shout out to Carrington. He's been showing me some stuff and it's got me very interested. But he said there's only so much he can show me, and he's mentioned you. I've understood with time that this job I have is not what my goal is to be able to provide for my, which is to be able to provide financially for my family. As a man, I want to set a goal so I can financially provide for my family. All right. I think it's fair enough. It's fair enough. Terrence, honestly, the reason why Carrington said there's only so much that he can tell you is because two things. Number one, a lot of the people who come in and learn this game aren't teachers, right? They try to be. There's a few people who try to be. A lot of people are not teachers, right? A lot of these people, what's going on, family? A lot of these people aren't teachers. A lot of these people are just, they're just trying to make it on their own, right? They're learning how to trade. And so I think what Carrington's trying to say is, look, there's only so much I can show you because I'm staying in my lane and I just rather you go over there and learn, right? Um, so you help me become profitable with your free teachings and kind of learn mentorship. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, good job, doctor. I appreciate you. Well, yeah. So I think this is fair. I think honestly, to get kind of deep into what you're saying about the financial freedom side of things, I don't think you can work a job and fully be financially free. That's not to say not to work a job. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is working a job alone, I don't think it's the move. I don't think it's the move. And so the goal, and this has been something I've done. This has been something if someone's like, how do I, implement the market and da da da. The goal is to be able to live on a certain amount of money, like a smaller amount of your money. I like, if you can even do 50-50, that's great. And I ain't talking about 50-50 with your girl. I'm talking about 50-50, taking 50% of the money that you make after taxes, living on that part and then taking the other 50% and then putting it in the market. Solid, 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 solid. And one of the things I always tell people, I was wondering about you the other day, been here since your vegan days. Glad to see you good, bro. Yes, yes. Shout out to all my folks been here since the vegan training. This is one of the reasons why I want to come back as well, because I helped a lot of people just doing the vegan thing. So I wanted to see how many more people I can help with this, answer some emails, right? But what I was going to say is when it comes to, finances and growing money and things like that, we have this thing that I created. I call it real estate plays, right? And it's not what you think, right? So my STB folks, they know what I'm talking about here. So, and for the record, most people don't know this. Majority of my STB folks, because we've been here for 6+ years now, majority of my STB folks are already locked in for lifetime membership. So they're like they, a lot of people don't pay me anything. They are just here. They're family. We just hang out. We do our thing, right? So yeah, a lot of people are just lifetime members. So like I told them, I said, you get locked in for life. I'm here, right? Um, to the program 4 years. I appreciate you. My life has changed. I love it. I love it. Good stuff, and good stuff. I appreciate that. What's up, Josh? What's up, Josh? Let's see. Thank you enough. My life has changed. I appreciate that, family. The silence is loud because the proof is in the pudding, right? And that's one of the reasons why I did. I was like, oh, y'all, every now and then you get people like, oh, he's a scammer and he's this, he's that. I was like, oh, I just need to go quiet. I just need to go quiet for a while. I go quiet for a while, and then and then like, he ain't been talking. Wait a minute, he still look like he living that same life. Skin still look good. Wait a minute, he still look healthy. He not stressed over there. Wait a minute, something must be going on, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what my New Orleans for. Yeah, shit, yeah. It'll be good over here. Um, that's right, because I ain't got a shucking job. Money in the bank. That's right. That's right. So So yeah, man, I think that silence was very telling, very telling, right? Um, still ducking on my. That's right, playing back. I got a game tonight, man. So I'm gonna go play basketball. I enjoy time with my family, all that good stuff, right? So, get back to what I was gonna say about this particular email about uh, the financial freedom, right? Number one, yes, to be able to go silent. Yeah, it's loud. Silence is loud, right? And so, what's going on, family? Much appreciated. Mel, what's good, Mel? Um, but it's to be able to go silent. That's the goal. To pick up a particular skill. Let's just say that to pick up a skill that can make you money in the background or make you money while you're being silent. It's a great thing to be able to do. So this person's email means a lot because yeah, we'll talk about that. And one of my favorite, I think this what I'm about to say is going to help a few other emails that I'm getting ready to go through. We have something in STB where, and I just created this. We've been doing it, but I've been able to put a word or a phrase to it, right? We call a lot of our plays that we do real estate plays. And like I said, it's not what you think. This is not a real estate play, technically, right? Right? That's right, Coco. That's right. It's good to see you, fam. Um, so in real estate, the reason why I came up with this particular phrase is because in real estate, there's been this thing going back and forth. Is real estate the best way to invest, or is the stock market? And I'll tell you here personally, I'm biased. To be fair, I'm biased, but stock market all day. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? Right? It's the the easiest barrier to entry. You don't need thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can go in with 100, right? There's not a lot of kissing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you're in real estate, especially if you don't have the money, you got to do a little bend over. I need to close this deal. Y'all get the kissing, right? Bend over. I'll kiss your rump. I'll kiss your rump. I just need to close this deal. I said, just slide out the knee pads, right? Slide out the knee pads, put them knee pads on before you get down there, right? So that's what happens a lot in real estate. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of real estate. Okay. Nothing wrong with real estate. But I don't like I just don't like it. Ideally if I can, carry on life without having to do that, great. But shout out to everybody who plays that game, right? Nothing against y'all. I don't want to, throw rocks at anybody or piss anybody off with what I'm saying. But most people know it's true. There's a lot of things that goes into real estate. And so to close a deal, you have to do a lot of, right? You need money. You got to raise money. Number two, whether you are doing flips or whatever it may be, you need GCs, general contractors. You need, property managers. You need this. You need that. There's so many people who have to touch. I don't want to touch. I'm good. Right? Since 2020, I really don't want to touch nobody that's not in my household. um, but you have to touch a lot of people. There are a lot of touch points in real estate. But the one thing that I do like about real estate is it's not. That's right. The game is to get out of the game. That's right. The thing about real estate is, or one of the good things about real estate is the hold time, like the expectation of how long am I going to hold this piece of real estate, right? That's one of the best things that I like about that. The reason why I say that is because a lot of you come to the stock market and you try to get in and out, in and out. There's a way to do that game, right? I'm one of the best at that game. There's a way to play that game. However, even me personally, I make most of my money 6+ months. Like I just give it time. Let's throw it out, right? And it's gonna answer some of these other questions we got going on here. And so what I did was I said, man, if we're trying to compare real estate and the stock market, I was like, most of y'all got those same questions because you lose in the stock market. Why do you lose in the stock market? 9 times out of 10, when I see people lose in the stock market, it's not because they got in the wrong trade. Because let's keep it real. How many of y'all get or have gotten into trades? It went against you, you got out, and then it went up. Happens to everybody. I'm almost certain. That's right. Leave them zero DTEs alone. Yeah, a lot of y'all are losing because you're trying to win too fast. You're trying to take money out of the market too fast. That's the big issue. That's the main issue. That's the main issue. It's not, and I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of leverage, but it's not even leverage. You can still trade options. You can still trade, but you need a bigger time horizon. That's usually the case. And I say that, be totally fair and put myself even on the chopping block. I got students because see, once again, it's only so much that I can teach you and help you with. You have to execute it on your own, right? And so I got students that they might have been with me 3, 4, 5 years sometimes. Now some of them are millionaires. Some of them are, I got one, shout out to B. B worth, I ain't gonna put his, business in it, but he worth 8 figures, right? And I got a few other people who, sevens, high sixes. And we got some people who are coming along because it took them time to really figure out that, man, if I just give myself time, I would have made more money because they look up 3 years later. They're like, man, it's been 3 years and I'm still not profitable. That's what we're going to talk about in this next one, right? And so, anywho, I'm going to finish this real estate example and we'll go on to the next one. But in real estate, once again, even for like flippers, the average hold time is 6 months. So if you get in a good setup, you're willing to sit through the pain. I sell at 30%. It's always bounce back sooner or later. Yeah, I've been in this is, to be fair, this is very irresponsible for me to say, but I've been known that if I give myself time, I don't cut my losses. I don't have a stop loss, right? And it burns me, right? To be fair, I've had trades, right? I think I'm the most popular guy for Beyond, right? Beyond. Tell me in that Beyond Meat play. I'm like, yeah. The reason why now, see, this is what people see. All losses hurt more than the wins do, right? And so people will scream your losses from the top of the mountain because they hurt more than the wins. But what people won't tell, out in public, what people won't say is Beyond was my biggest loss of my career because it was one of those home run. We were swinging for the fences, right? I say Alibaba was another once again, but see, Alibaba actually went up and hit the target, right? It was a time horizon once again. That's why I'm going to this actual this data, right? But what people won't mention is the big wins, the same. Because see, I like home runs, right? And so what happened is people heard about me early on in my career. They heard about the micro strategy play. Tay, I heard you had people making 1,300%, 2,000%, 5,000%. I heard you made millionaires off that micro strategy play. So everything I would call out from then on, they started throwing all they had at it, hoping that it was going to be another micro strategy. That's what happened. See, nobody really talks about that part of it, right? To be fair, nobody talks about that. That's what it was, right? That's what it was. Would you still buy Beyond now? I still do have some Beyond because here's the thing. When my chart show me something, I just keep following the chart. And another reason why a lot of people were a little, PO'd about that or just scared about it is because guess what? They can't see what I was aiming at, right? Now a lot of my students who study, yeah, they see it. So they like, just hold the shit. We've been in stuff. Honest. We were in Honest, you got the Honest diapers and the Honest brand. We were in Honest. I told you, I come from the penny stock world. That's what people don't realize. I've been knowing how to trade these shitty companies, right? Every now and then, a shitty company just keeps falling. That's just part of the game. Nobody wanted to look at both sides of it. Losses hurt more than the wins do, right? They just do. They hurt more than the wins do. I'm right, just not right now. That happens. That happens. And I eat my losses. That's why I say I'm not gonna run from my shit. I eat my losses. One of the reasons why, and this is another learning lesson, going back into my real estate mindset or dynamic that I'm talking about here. My students can vouch for me when I say this. Beyond made me one of the most dangerous. I mean, the type of trader I became after the Beyond loss. And then we turned around because right when Beyond was falling, guess what else was falling? Meta. Meta was falling, right? All of my students were with me when we were talking about Meta, right? And what I do, I was like, Meta, we got Meta at $800. We bought Leaps on Meta. Same thing. While everybody on the internet, for the most part, was trashing Meta. Mark Zuckerberg's done, da 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 da. I was like, no, no, no. What qualifies as a penny stock? Depending on who you talk to, but anything under $10 more, especially anything under five, is usually considered a penny stock. Um, so yeah, man. But I just say crappy companies, period. So it doesn't even have to be a penny stock. Sometimes it can be $100, but it's a crappy company and it moves. It moves like a penny stock. $30 up, $30 down, right? That's the volatility. You want, we like those type of plays, right? But yeah, a lot of people they discount both sides is a thing, right? They discount both sides of things, and the wins, for example, Meta. Like I said, we got in Meta. The range was anywhere between like 80, I say 89 and $120, right? So we got in at 89, $120, somewhere in that range. We bought 2.5 year because usually with like Meta and like stronger companies, Apple, Microsoft, those companies usually give you on the expiration date, they usually give you like 2.5 years, maybe even 3 years sometimes for the expiration date. So whatever that long expiration date was, we bought that, right? Um, and I'll actually share that here. We'll go look at the chart real quick. Um, let's see. Pull that up. We'll go look. We'll see where that was. All right. So let me share my screen here. Now I'm showing you Meta, and I'm showing you just a few because this is going to justify the real estate mindset that I'm telling you about, right? So here we have Meta, right? And so it was falling. Once again, this was around that same time, 21, 22, when Young was getting clapped, right? And so we're like, hey, we don't just trade one stock, we trade multiple stocks, right? And so we had Meta, right? And like I said, we got in around that 120 to maybe $89 rank. We scaled. What did we scale? There was a few things you could have scaled, but we were looking at this here. Right? I'm gonna do this really quick. I'm not trying to really teach how to do this online. I'm just kind of showing you. So I'm going to show you our levels, all right? And so bring up my 2.0. So we were just scaling the levels, baby. We were just scaling the levels. That's it, right? And so when they got down here to this 122 level, it's just a level. When they got down to that level, we bought it. I was like, hey, I'm going out year and a half, or excuse me, 2.5 years. I like this. So 2.5 years from October 22, let's just call it, I think it might have been March or June 25. Let's see, 2 years would have been 24. So yeah, it might have been like Q1, the end of Q1, March 25 might have been what we had, right? We went slightly out of the money. We didn't go too crazy, slightly out of the money. So if we were at 120 on this entry, we probably had $200 strike price. Nothing too crazy, right? But I knew this was gonna go, so I was like, hey, this is good. And yeah, so by February 24, right? By February 24, we're not even in 25. February 24, we're at $517 at the highest point, right? The highest point. Was most painful. Yeah, about 140. Yeah, we got in at 100. So I get it. So yeah, I got in at 100. I wrote it down. To be fair, yeah. So yeah, part of the game, right? Of course, you could have cut your losses and things like that, but that's not how I play. And I make a lot of money playing the way I play. So part of the game, right? But yeah, this particular play, once again, I think shout out to Eon, one of my students, Eon, 32,000%. I think he turned like $700 into it was like something stupid. Let's see. Yeah, it was like 28, almost $30,000. It was something stupid, right? So he turned $700. He was just like, I'll sprinkle a little something into meta, right? Okay, Eder, it was 35,000%. Okay. So yeah, it's like 35,000%. And so I was like, but and that's how we trade. I like I'm knocking it out, or you're gonna take my money. That's what I said. That's how I play the game to be fair. Right. So if meta went to zero, I would have lost all that money in meta because that's just how I play the game. Right. Is it responsible? So I say, responsibly, I have to admit, like, that might not be the most responsible, way to play the game. Oh, you say no, he made 35,000 off of $700. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, so he put $700 in, he made 35K, right? Once again, um, so I think so. I'm speaking about what I got out at or what I was able to see. That would be more of a 7,000. So yeah, that's 50,000%. So he made 50,000% roughly on that contract, right? And so once again, you don't hear nobody screaming that one online, right? You don't hear nobody screaming that one online. They'll tell you about, nobody, you don't hear Saul on here saying how he made $4 million from MicroStrategy, right? You don't hear, nobody's talking about how, Eon, and a lot of us made 30 to 50,000% on Meta. You don't hear that. And I'm showing y'all this because yes, the losses hurt more than the wins. It's just part of the game, right? Part of the game. And so that's why I mentioned the real estate thing, because just in real estate, you don't buy one property. You might buy a property over here, property over here, property over here. You don't get out. You don't sell the property. I just bought this last month. I'm getting out this month. No, no. You have to hold these properties 6 months, 8 months minimum. And that's if you're a flipper. A lot of people are holding these things 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? And so I said, hey, the reason why a lot of people are even asking is real estate close to, or which one's better, real estate or stocks? The only reason they're asking that is because these people are getting out of the stocks too early. They're getting out of stocks too early. If you treated the stock market like you treat real estate and you were forced to hold that shit, if you had to hold stocks like you have to hold real estate, what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? The stock market it blows the real estate market out of the water. And so that's why I came up with strategy saying, hey, we take stocks and we I call them real estate plays. I'm like, hey, I got real estate. So shout out to my folks. We just made a killing on Microsoft. That was a real estate play. We had we've been holding Moderna for 2 years. Real estate play. Y'all put it in chat though, so the new people that are here, they can see it. What y'all make on Moderna? Once again, they don't scream my wins out loud. They scream your losses out loud though. I lost on this one, big dog. And you got that one on. That was a loss too. No, scream them wins out for me. What do we do on Moderna, boys and girls? Y'all put them percentages in chat. Because I think the highest that I saw was 2,300%. on Moderna. Once again, we've been holding that play for 2 years, but 2,300% is a 23x. A 23x means if you put $10,000 on that, like real estate, once again, real estate play, right? And so if you do that, like real estate, 23x is 230,000, right? 230,000. Message. So let me see. Some of y'all are messaging me privately. They can't see it, but it's all good. But yes, y'all are sending that to the host and panelists, so they can't. Everybody can see it. But anywho, man, we made a killing on Moderna, right? We had been in. Um, we had been in it for almost 2 years. We got in at about, I think our average cost was about $35, $40 originally. It got down to 23. We averaged in a little bit more and bought our average cost down to about $30. And then it shot up to $80, 80, 83 or something like that. Made a killing, The average person made about 1,500%. So a 15x. $10,000 into that play made $150,000, right? Real estate. And I call it a real estate play because once again, you have to hold it like real estate. I got real estate I've been holding since 2019. I still ain't made money from that shit. Right? I partner with my guy. We still waiting on shit, right? And so that's why I like the stock market better because it's easy, it's liquid. I can get in, I can get out. Right? I can get in, I can get out. I can get in, I can get out. So once again, for my people who are coming in and into the Instagram chat or Instagram live, if y'all want to get over to the Zoom, there's a Zoom link in my bio. Just go to my page, click the link in my bio, and there's a Zoom link there. And it'll bring you right over here to Zoom. Wait a minute. I'm waiting for this notification. I didn't get it. I realized you know for IG. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's weird. But yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Let's see. Yeah, my dude was lovely. Got in at $25, sold around 70. There we go. There we go. Solid. And so yeah, on those options, that type of move on those options definitely deliver a 10x. So yeah, that was a beautiful play, right? There's the truth, y'all. Real recognize real. Listen up. I appreciate your family for sure. So yeah, and so that goes back to my real estate mindset. So if you hold stocks just as long as you hold real estate, or you're willing to hold real estate, stocks will outperform real estate all day. The reason why y'all are questioning the stock market versus real estate is because you are holding stocks a lot less longer than you were, or than people tend to hold real estate, because you're kind of forced to hold real estate, right? So yeah, man, that's just what that is. So, anywho, let's carry on. This is another one we have. So Darnell, shout out to Darnell. He said, "My name is Darnell. I've been trading for about 5 years. I am not profitable on options. Way better luck with shares." We literally we talk about the same thing, right? My problem is when to exit a trade. I stay way too long or not long enough. I'm looking for trades I don't have to look at every 6 months, or excuse me, I don't have to look at every day. 6 months out or 2 years, whatever, as long as I make profit. That's good. And that goes right into what we were just talking about. Because once again, those options, sometimes you're forced to sell, right? Now, one of the ways I teach, so here's why a lot of people lose in trading, period. This is just a blanket statement. A lot of people lose in trading because they don't have edge. What is edge? Edge is, do you know something that the rest of these MFers don't know, right? Do you know something that they don't know? If you know something that they don't know, you have an edge, and then you usually get a leg up and you win over the people who don't know something, right? And so there are many levels of edge. You have people with insider trading. They have a leg. People get mad at Nancy Pelosi. Oh, she grabbing stuff and she knows about the pass in Congress or da 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 da. Hey, that's her edge. Hey, You can trade with her. And anytime she take a trade, you take a trade too. That's her edge, right? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's only the people who are mad are the ones who don't have an edge. That's it. Um, Options have been trashed to trade. Short term, since they removed the pattern day trader rule. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've been chopping y'all out. They've been chopping y'all out. And so one of my ways to fix this, Darnell, number one, the number one thing that I teach people, especially like, because every now and then, I'll get the honor to teach people one on one. So we do a one on one Zoom call. The reason why I say the honor is because number one, like I said, I'm busy. Well, not busy, but I'm busy with my family and my life. And so if anybody's like, hey, come away from your wife, come away from your kids, and teach me one on one, you won't have to pay for that, right? So I charge a lot if I'm ever going to do that. So every now and then I get to teach somebody one on one. And one of those things that I teach my one on ones how to do, so it helps with your mental. Because once again, I'm a mental coach, mental and emotional. That's how I help people through the markets, right? One of the ways I help you do things is I tell you, we need to learn how to trade in a way that allows you to sleep at night. Trade in a way that helps you sleep at night, right? I've only gone through, this is the second one. So you can watch the replay. I'll put the replay. Replay will be on YouTube, and then we'll have this as a replay. Trade in a way that helps you sleep at night, right? The shorter you want to trade, the less leverage you need. And so that's when we go into shares. So I went back into my old school penny stock bag. That's why I created this. I call it the PTP, right? I'll share it, protect the principal. And so one of the ways I do it, Darnell, to answer your question is, you said you're doing really well with shares. Well, why not just trade shares? And then what we do is we take the money from the shares because it's profit, and then you buy time on options. Sounds like a win-win to me. Now, of course, you still got to still got to know a strategy on how to trade, because options is a game that says, hey, I bet you, this is what you're doing with options. You're saying, I'm going to place a bet that we're going to go to this price by this time. And a lot of people don't know how to look at a chart and say, we're going here by that time. And so that's why I've always wondered, like, how are you trading options and you don't know how to be able to tell we going to this price in this amount of time? It's crazy to me. I mean, most of the teachers that be teaching online, they can't tell me price and time trajectory. There is literally I ain't gonna teach it here because that's one of my edges that I teach my one-on-ones and stuff like that. Like, we're not gonna give up our edge, but there's literally a way that you can take time and price and place it together, and you can have exactly the range of time it'll take to hit a price. But once again, teachers don't know that. And how you can teach options, especially if you're gonna trade options, I feel like it's very irresponsible for you to teach options if you don't know time and price patterns. That's crazy to me. Crazy. How was I able to find this? Well, one of the things I do, personally, one of the things I've done over my career is I reverse engineer a lot of institutional moves. So I go through 13F filings, 13F, 13F, 13. I look through 13F filings. I reverse engineer. So I go back because there's a lag. I go back, I reverse engineer what they've done and when they place their trades. And then I'll go in and then I'll create indicators based on my reverse engineering of their trades. That's how I've been able to do what I do now. And so that has helped me. Now, you can't just stop there. As I reverse engineer their trades and then I create indicators based on reverse engineering that stuff, I then take those indicators that I created and I say, if it works today, if it worked 35 days ago, 45 days ago when they placed their trade, it also worked 100 years ago. So then what I do is I go back to 1890 on the S&P 500. I go back to 1880 something on the Dow Jones. I go back to the 1800s and I say, hey, if it works today, it had to be working back then. And if it worked back then and it's still working today, it's gonna work next year. It's gonna work tomorrow. It's gonna work next week. It's gonna work next decade. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Now, is there some, is there a way that it might stop working? Potentially, potentially. But I got 100 years worth of data to say it is not gonna stop working. Yeah, I still do the STB lives on Sundays. Yeah, because like I said, a lot of people in STB by now they're all lifetime members. So yeah, I still go live, still go live. Is it trading away to help you sleep at night might be a gym? Yeah, trading away to help you sleep at night. When you got zero DTE, you wake up stressed, sweating. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, we chill out, man. And then I chill out because, like I said, I back tested this stuff a century plus, right? And so I'm like, no, I've seen it work hundreds of years, right? So what are we talking about? So yeah, but that's how you have to trade. It's called data collection. You have to collect data. Um, you have to collect data. If you're gonna play this game, you got to collect data. And it's no different. This is why a lot of my women are better traders than men because women are the best at what I'm saying. They're the best at data collection. Thanks for the $400 tip. That's a few years ago when I was working front desk. For sure, for sure, for sure. Good, family. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Where were you working? Remind me, where were you working? Where did I leave you a $400 tip? Like where were you? Where were you working? Well, yeah, I do my best to, I like to give back. And the way I give back is by rewarding people who are already trying, who are trying. So if you work in a job, I know you don't want to, whatever you were doing, let's just say you were waiting table. You said front desk, so it's not. Oh, at Jade. Gotcha. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So this was when we lived. Yeah, that's when we lived at Jade. Yeah, in Sunny Isles, man. Yeah. When I had kids, man, I had to get rid of the condo and move to a place that has a yard. But shout out to my family at Jade, man. That was we love job, man, for sure. But I like to take care of people who are trying. I know. So, family, I know you didn't want to work at the front desk at Jade. That wasn't the ideal dream job, but you there anyway. The fact that you there and you putting in work and you're doing what you got to do, I want to reward you for that. That's love. So I'm like, hey, that's how I give back. I give back to people who are trying. You sit on your butt and you put your hand out, gimme. My mom used to say, gimme's what got you here. We don't do that, man. Like, you got to work for, if I'm going to give you something, you got to work for it. This is what it is. And you may not even be working for me, but if I see you hustling, I like to reward the hustle. That's just who I am. So yeah, the $400 tip, it was my pleasure, man. Yeah, it was my pleasure for sure. Um, let's see. But yeah, man. So what we're talking about right now is one of my best ways to trade, right? Is real estate play. So Darnell, same thing to you. Yeah, trade your shares, take some of the price. This is what I like to do, right? This will help fix what you got going on. Trade the shares, take some profit from the shares. Now it's profit, so it's not your money. And then the options that you get, what I like to do is I like to get options, and then what I'm doing is I'm trading the options that I've back tested the whatever stock it may be. I back tested the stock, and I know where it needs to go and about what time it needs to get there, right? And so when I have that, I'm able to place an option trade with higher probabilities, right? Higher probabilities. So for example, I'll give you just a great example. A lot of y'all like to follow gaps, right? I'm not a gap trader. I know a lot of people are. I'm not a gap trader. I really don't give a about gaps. I don't. I don't really care about gaps because the market's not getting bought up because of gaps. But that's another story. Right? We won't go over that. But the gaps still work for why it's actually going back to the gap. It's not going there because there's a gap in the chart. No, there's market structure that needs to be fulfilled, right? I.e., orders that need to be fulfilled. That's why they're going back to the gap. But people like to, trade gaps and stuff like that. And then a lot of times, if you don't know what you're doing, the gap trading doesn't work either. Now, let's just say you like to use gaps, and let's say a market falls out the sky. So, once again, let's go look at this. Look at this trade here, right? One of the guys who tends to, I don't know why he keeps my name in his mouth, even when I'm not in the number one ranked standings in the World Cup. It's ICT. ICT just always seems to taste sweet. I'm like, bro, like I don't even know you, number one. And number two, like I got no beef with you. Like I have no beef with you, my boy. But ICT, he just always got my name. Like he's always talking. Um, but he's a gap trader. He likes fair value gaps, from what I'm hearing, right? I don't really give a crap about gaps. They mean nothing to me, to be honest with you, right? I'm not a gap trader, but a lot of people follow ICT. And so I'm mentioning it here. People are gap traders, right? And so we have this gap here on Meta, right? And so when Meta was falling, I just showed y'all earlier that, we had got into Meta. And so when Meta was falling, some people would have said, hey, there's a gap up there that needs to close. That's what people would say. There's a gap up there that needs to close. And they closed it. Then they retraced it and then they close it again, right? And they will retrace. We didn't get too deep into that. But a lot of people would have aimed for that gap. Tay, I got a 2-year contract aimed for that gap. Well, my first question to you would be, hey, Darnell, based on that option that you just bought, that you just purchased, we're on the weekly chart. How many gaps have you back tested and figured out how long it takes to close that gap? If you have not done that, you probably shouldn't be in the option. So yeah, the gap needs to close, but I need you to have some data that says, based on the last, so this is 2021, right? So 2021 gap, right? So 2021 and back, we have, what's that, almost 10 years of data, right? I need you to be able to tell me, every time Meta falls, they close the gap that they left at the top of the pivot point in this amount of time. If you can't tell me the blank amount of time, you're trading blind, my boy. You're trading blind. What are we talking about here? You're trading blind. So what I like to do is I'm just giving y'all a game. Back test through the history of the stock. I always tell people when I teach them, understand the personality of a stock, right? Just like you would do with your wife. And see, this is where the psychological part of my teachings come into play. Because I always tell people, married people are the best traders. Married people and people who know how to follow a really strict diet and workout regimen, we are the best traders. Why? Because it's our job to learn the personality or the thing that we are doing. It's to learn how that moves and how that works. You still see the market downside? Mm-hmm. Sure do. What people don't understand is market downsides, they take a lot more times. Why I tell people, I personally tell people, if you don't know how to project price and time, don't short the market. Don't short the market. So anybody trying to short the market, don't do that. Especially if you don't know how to hedge. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. I could stay here all day, but I don't want to hold nobody time. Hospital, it's all good, family. It's all good. But yeah, if you don't know this data, then you're trading blind. So one of the things I try to do, I say, hey, if you're gonna be a gap trader, I need you to go back and look through the history, right? I need you to look through the history. Go back, right? I'm gonna shout him out, even though he don't like me no more, but that's okay. Shout out to Jada Trader. Jada Trader is a gap trader. He was one of the first people who Jay don't like me because personally, he didn't like me because I hired Jay to teach me futures because I didn't know futures, right? I didn't know futures. So I'm not going through your course, right? I will pay you one-on-one money for your one-on-one time. So Jay wanted 25,000. I gave Jay the trader $25,000. I said, here you go, Jay, to trade. It's 25K. Teach me futures. Now, I didn't say teach me how to chart. I said teach me futures, right? What I needed to know is what's maintenance margin, what's overnight margin. Like I needed to know those things about futures, right? Because I had never traded futures. What's a tick? How much is the tick value? Like I needed those things, right? And to be fair, Jay was very honored. He was very respectful. He showed a lot of love when I told him I want him to teach me futures, right? Because I thought the beef was squashed a couple of years ago. No, Jay don't follow me. Jay unfollowed me. Terry texted both of us. He ignored Terry. I was like, hey, okay. But it's neither here nor there. Ain't no love, lost on my end, man. I wish the brother nothing but the best. He's a father. He's a husband. I want to see him do great. And that's what anybody who's ever said anything negative about me or feels any kind of way about me. Especially if you're a father, and more especially if you're a father and a husband, I just want to see you do great. If you're a wife, if you're a woman and you talk crap about me, if you're a mother, I want to see you do great. If you're a mother and a wife, I really want to see you do great. So I have nothing against anybody on the internet, man. I'm living life. I'm enjoying life, enjoying my family. So I have no beef with anybody. But I mentioned him because I wanted to give him his props, even though, he may not care too much for me. But Jay is also a gap trader, and he's probably one of the better gap traders that I've seen. That's why I was giving him his credit. He's one of the better gap traders that I've seen. Once again, I don't trade gaps, and I don't care for gaps, right? But he did personally. He showed me the rules to the gaps and how he trades them, and I was like, man, that's pretty interesting, bro. Now I don't need them. like you didn't have to tell me that because I blow straight through the gaps. I don't need gaps, right? But I wanted to give him his credit because he's one of the better. Like I said, I've never heard anybody with rules and parameters around gaps like Jay has, right? So I'll give him his credit for sure. Your energy is the best. I appreciate your family. Thank you, Teddy, for real. Of course, of course. So yeah, man, shout out to Jay. Also, shout out to Terry. A lot of y'all know, Terry, Trade and Travel. That's she's like a sister, man. But anywho, um, I want people to know how, if they're going to trade options, how they need to collect data to be able to profitably and successfully be able to trade options over and over again. Right? You got to make something that's replicatable. And so once you get that range, see, here's the thing: not many people want to do this type of work. That's really what it comes down to. Not many people want to do this type of work because once again, if I tell you you need to have or know the personality of a stock, it's the same way. I'm going back to my married folks. It's the same way as being married, right? I know what my wife thinking before she thinking. I know what my wife gonna do before she do. Yeah, like literally, my wife get ready to do something because I've studied her. I know all of her, her thought patterns for the most part, right? If she do something different, I'll document it. Same way with trading. If the market do something else, hey, wait a minute, that's different. Okay, let me write that down because you just did something different. I'm gonna watch and see how many times you do that different thing you just did. Let me see how many times you do that again. If you don't do it for another 5, 10 years, then that's not a habit. That was a one-off. Then what I'll do is I'll track the one-off. The one-off happened 6 years ago. 6 years and 3 months, that one-off happened. And what I'll do is I'll track that one-off and wait for it to happen again. And it might not happen for another 10 years. But on that 10th year, I'll go one-off just happened again. So this one-off, now I'll start collecting data every 10 years. Every 10 years, I'm gonna look for that one-off to happen. If it happens again in 10 years, I now have a 10-year indicator. That's how I trade. That's why when anybody try to throw, if they ever do, I don't get it a lot. I don't get it at all, really. But if anybody ever try to throw that bullshit at me, that he's a grifter, I say, hey, come sit down and talk to me. Let me run you around town real quick. Let me show you how we get down. No bullshit over here. Hey, we get to it. We get to it. So I collect data and I will run circles around. I will run circles around you, right? So, because to be fair, you do have people who get on here, they don't know what they're talking about. To be fair, To be fair. He said, Taze the GOAT. I took your course years ago and I'm still printing. I love it, family. Good stuff. I appreciate that. Much love. Appreciate the shout out. But yeah, there are a lot of people who get on here and they don't know what they're talking about. I'll be honest with you. Um, right. Keep their head ringing, Demetrius. That's right. So I understand why the dynamic or the expectation may be that most people who talk about stocks are grifters, or most people who talk about stocks are scammers, right? I get it. But I actually do the work, right? That's right. Put them tablets out on their ass. Yeah, yeah. I pull it. I got plenty books over here, right? I got plenty books, plenty of data collecting going on over here, man. You ever see this, you already know what's up. I got plenty of data collecting going on over here. So we collect data daily, daily, right? Some people inside in my group, they say, do math, Tay, and I'll start doing math. When I pull out my calculator, you know what's up. You know what's up. But I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole nother level of having edge. But yeah, I can calculate stuff and come up with price targets. And, that's neither here nor there. But anywho, let's get to the next question, man. Let's see what the next email. So I've been trading for about 4 years, seriously, and structured for the last year and a half. Okay. Let's see. So he's been trading for 4 years and seriously and structured for the last year and a half. So basically, for the first 2.5 years, you were just kind of effing off, right? You're just kind of doing whatever. And I'm sorry, this is from Michael. Michael. So Michael, you were just effing off for the first 2.5 years. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Most people do. Most people do. I'm not profitable yet. My real problem isn't strategy; it's emotional discipline. I'm disciplined. Well, I'll stop. I'll stop there. A lot of times, it is strategy as well, because one of the things I teach, one of the things I teach my one-on-ones is how to, because I actually develop strategies. People come to me, and I've worked with a few hedge fund managers as well. They come to me and say, hey, here's what I want. Like, this is the amount of money I have, and here's the result I want from that amount of money. Build me a strategy around that. And all I have to do is build a strategy that works in rain, sleet, or snow, right? And so, to your question, Michael, or to answer your question about strategy, you do need a strategy, because clearly the strategy you have is not working in all rain, sleet, or snow. You need an all-weather strategy. And the reason why I say that is because, and the reason why I've been able to do this and create strategies that work in all weathers is because I know about the body. And so what I did was, I'm going somewhere with this, okay? The strategy is to have your emotions in check. Not only that, it shouldn't even have to get to the emotions. That's the thing, right? So we're gonna get there. I just put a weird. Let's see, I don't know what that is. I just put a weird filter on here. I don't want a filter on here, but anyway, whatever. The quality of video. Yeah. Like something happened with the video. I don't know, and it did it automatically. So I don't know what happened, but whatever. I know a hedge fund manager paying for a bag. Yeah, 150,000. Yeah, if you're gonna come work, if you're a hedge fund manager, 150,000. Yeah. And if anybody's like, he's just throwing numbers around, I've had 3 people pay me that. So as a matter of fact, oh, my phone's ringing. Matter of fact, I have another person who's coming in 150,000. So yeah. But I don't get a lot of them, right? And to be fair, it's good money, but it doesn't cover my lifestyle. So I take my money, I trade it. Anyway, you have to have an all-weather strategy. Now, what I did personally, this is what I do for a lot of my clients who come in there. Like, when I say strategy, it's really about what works for your emotions, what gets your goal accomplished, and then what also can be systematized, right? What I mean by that is, no matter how sad you are, so hold on, let me say it this way. The body has a circulatory system, an endocrine system, a digestive system, right? And no matter how sad, happy, mad, if it's cold outside, if it's hot outside, if you're running, if you are couch potato, if you lift weights, if you had fornication this morning or not, no matter what's going on, that digestive system is going to do the same thing. It works to digest and it's going to have the same process. You're going to eat it, you're going to chew it, you're gonna knock it back. It's gonna go down the esophagus. It's gonna it's gonna do the same thing. You're gonna have the same steps. Step one, go in the mouth. Pause. Step two, once you chew, or step two, chew. Step three, once you chew, knock it down the esophagus. Step three, once you send it down the esophagus, go ahead and start adding some high, get your acids and stuff starting to work to break it down, right? Step four. You see what I'm doing? It's step by step. And no matter how you feel about that system, no matter how you are operating, if you're hot, cold, mad, sad, glad, whatever it may be, that process is still step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, no matter what. It doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care about the external environment. It does the same thing. Michael, same thing, baby. Same thing. So yes, you need another strategy. Yes, you do need strategy. That is your issue. Because if I gave the body the same strategy that you have, where it works sometimes and sometimes it don't when you're emotional, you wouldn't digest food. You wouldn't digest food. Right? I'm saying, Mike, drop. I appreciate you, family. Yeah, you wouldn't digest food. That's the thing. So the goal, yes, is to get something that works. It works, and it works in all weather, whether you're mad, sad, glad, whatever it may be, it works. Right. And that's in a lot of things. It's not just trade. But anywho, that's what that is. So yeah, you do need you do need another strategy as well. So the problem is strategy. Also, it's emotional discipline, which once again, there's a way to come up with a strategy that says step one, do this, step two, look for this, step three, look for that, step four, look for that, step five, do that. If you got those five in place, emotions don't get in the way. No, it's a rule-based system. And this is how even a lot of hedge funds train their quants, quant traders. It's rule-based. That's why people are like, oh, what happens when AI starts getting in trading? Well, guess what? I got to give the AI system rules. I got to give it a set of rules. Same thing. So yeah, you don't have the rules that help you be successful. It's part of the game, right? Um, as I'm disciplined everywhere else in my life, but when I take a loss or get close to a payout, I get urgent and start over leveraging and or revenge trading. That's a thing. Um, that's another issue that I'll tell you. The whole payout system. I know a lot of people are trying to do these prop firms. I'm not the biggest fan of prop firms, and not for what you actually would think it is. I'm not the biggest fan of prop firms for two reasons. One, they force you to day trade. Most of them force you can't hold anything. Remember, I told you try to do your best to cut down on forcing yourself to buy and sell today or buy and sell tomorrow. I don't like prop firms because you have to shorten your time horizon. So you can be right about the target. Like wherever you think something's going, you can be right. It's just not going. It's not going there today. It's going there Thursday. It's going there next week, Monday, right? So that's why I don't really care for prop firms, honestly. If you're really trying to be a successful trader, um, I have people who have five, six, $5,000, $10,000 who are outperforming people with 150, 300,000, and it's because I'm able to teach them about extending their mental, and emotional time horizon, right? And so, yeah, you extend the time horizon. If it hits today, great. If not, I got 6 months. I got 8 months. Cool. Like, whatever. right? So I'm not the biggest fan of prop firms because they force you to day trade, and that's where the revenge trading comes. Now, revenge trading and stuff like that, that's also a personal flaw. A good way to work on revenge trading or over leveraging yourself. Um, People do that because they don't have um, most of the time they don't have many responsibilities, so they kind of take. That's when you get into gambling. You start gambling when you start over leveraging. You're gambling, right? So what I need you to do is figure out how to emotionally. You need to pick up some responsibilities. Like you can't bet the house if you have a wife that's in the house and a family that's in the house, right? Like you need some type of responsibility. So that could help with your over leveraging and your revenge trading. When you take your loss, you just get out of there. You sit it down, right? That same impulsiveness cost me uh, hard outside of trading too. Look, we're getting there. I have not read through these. I'll read the first maybe line or two so I can see the name and I print it off. So yeah, it makes sense. Yep. I filed bankruptcy at 20 and I'm still working off credit card debt from it now. You got to have some type of responsibility or you can't leverage yourself there and because that's a gamble, right? And that's what happens. And when people keep doing that, and so what I would say, because I too have filed bankruptcy, family. I've been there. I've been there. But what I can tell you is I got there because I over leveraged. Now, what I can also tell you is if you don't learn from that bankruptcy thing you had to go through, you're gonna go through it again. That's what life is about. As a matter of fact, that's how you become a better trader. Being a good trader is literally getting better or fixing the issues you ran into yesterday. If I got an issue today and it caused me to lose, I fix it and I go to the next thing. And then if I got another thing, I lose, I fix it and I go to the next thing. And I just keep, right? That's how you do it. If you can't do that, or if you don't learn your lesson, you'll keep repeating it over and over again. You'll repeat it. And see, here's the thing that's just finance, financially, right? So you over leverage yourself more than likely, which is how you got into bankruptcy. Then you over leverage yourself again, and now you still got more credit card debt. Then you're over leveraging yourself in trading, and then you're losing over there, right? But what's going to happen is that same over leveraging will spill out in your life. You'll over leverage. See, here's the thing: you'll over leverage your time, and you'll be late a lot. That'll cause you to lose jobs. You'll over leverage in what you in your what can I say? You'll over leverage in your thinking as far as your uh I don't want to call it that, but let's just say you're in a relationship and you have morals and values inside of your relationship. As long as you stick to those morals and values, the relationship, especially if both people stick to the morals and values, the relationship tends to work. It works, right? But as soon as you start to over leverage your values or over leverage, what I mean by over leverage, you're like, I wonder if I can get away with this. When people start doing that, that's when the relationship start going south. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Thinking you can get a pass with people all the time. Yeah, that's it. It's the same. So if you over leverage yourself in relationships, intimate and just like friendships, business, I've had people over leverage themselves in business relationships, and I kick their ass to the curb. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. You go on over there. Don't over leverage on me. You go on over there, right? So yeah, it happens, man. I tell you, I recently thought to create a separate account just to cover monthly life expenses through outdated options with 1 to 3 months time. Ideally, I put 20K into account, just aim for 30% to get 6K to cover bills. Thought on this. I don't like that, Justin. Here's why I don't like that. Y'all put too much stress on yourself. I don't like trying to trade to cover bills. I don't trade to cover bills. And I'm a full-time trader. How do I do it? I'll give you a great example. What I like to do, once again, gives me time horizon so I can take my time horizon out. What I like to do is, so you said you got what, 30K, 20K? Okay. What I like to do, If I got 20K, there's a few ways I can do it. If I teach you the ping pong strategy, because I got a few people I teach ping pong strategy to, my one-on-ones, especially if I do like a Zoom one-on-one, I can teach you a ping pong strategy pretty quick. But we're not gonna talk about that here. Let's just talk about a swing trading strategy, right? What I personally like to do is I like to take, if all I had is 20K, or if I want to move some money and put it in an account, and I put 20K in an account, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just how I move, how I operate. I'm going to aim for one of those. Like I said, you probably don't know how to do this. That's why it's pretty tough, right? I'm going to aim to trade shares. The way I just told somebody earlier, shares, 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 shares. I want to keep doing what I'm doing to cover my bills. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, right? That's how I'm going to cover my bills. I don't think Justin, I don't think you're being forced to have to trade for a living, right? You probably just don't like your job. That's right. He said no. Yeah, you probably just don't like your job. You're like, man, how can I cover these bills so I can eventually quit my job? That's where you're trying to go, aren't you? I know. I know. I've helped at this point over 500 people quit their job. So I know how to, I know exactly how to do it. So what you're trying to do is not how you do it. Why? Because now your life is going to depend on your performance, month by month performance. I don't like that. Because if I have a bad month or the market is slow, because sometimes they get in this range and it'll chop. Matter of fact, it did that November, October to November of last year, all the way through like April this year. It chopped in a range. And so imagine if you're trying to pull money out of the market so you can pay bills, right? But you have an 8 month chop in the market. Tough. Now you stressed, you revenge trading. Tough. I don't suggest it. So here's what I do. Shares, shares, shares. You trading shares, you probably can do this on a weekly, maybe monthly basis. If you just halfway decent at trading, you should be able to pull 10% a month from shares. That's easy. That's easy. 10% a month, easy. So 20K. So you got 20K. I trade shares, make $2,000 a month. Now that's not gonna cover your bills. You say you need 6,000. That's not gonna cover your bills. But now what I'm gonna do is every month that I'm making $2,000 a month, I'm gonna take that 2,000. I'm gonna buy options. Leave it out. Leave it out. Leave it out. You gotta know. You gotta know what you're doing with leaps, though. Right? You gotta know how to find them. You gotta know how to assess. Um, a lot of times you're gonna get some of these options that have high premiums. So you gotta assess your premiums. Are they high or not? Are you paying too much for this premium? If so, it's not gonna be a lot of juice to squeeze out of that option once it goes. So there's a lot of things that I can teach that kind of show you whether or not this is the move. But anywho, um, where you been enjoying life, family? Enjoying life. I just decided to come help out, talk a little, something. Market's slow. I got a little time on my hands, so I was like, hey, let's read some emails. But yeah, I take the share. I this is what I do: shares, take the profit, leaps. Our leaps, I always tell people, our leaps usually do anywhere between an 8 and 15x, right? So if I'm making $2,000 a month, let's just say it's gonna take you another 6 months. I know you hate your job. It'll take you another 6 months to get that, $2,000 cranking and some leaps starting to work, and then it'll take probably another 6 months for it hit. So you got about a year of working your job again. But watch this: in 6 months, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I got $12,000 in that account. I just told you my leaps, the way we do leaps, they 10x. Matter of fact, I horribly mess something up if I don't do a 10x. I'll be honest. I don't do a 10x on a leap. I did something wrong. I miscalculated something wrong as far as like premiums. I got out too early, whatever it may be. I did something wrong. So a 10x on $12,000 is 120K. Yes, it took you a year to get there, but now you got 120,000. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Well, Justin, you don't make $120,000 a year, do you? 105. Woo! So we just beat your salary. So what I just did for you, Justin, you got 120. You gonna take I personally, because you said you got 105,000 salary. So what you can do is now, he said facts. Yeah, that the Merck MRK leap still paying, right? Yeah, we made a killing on that. How much are you up on that? If you don't mind me asking, like percentage wise, Mr. Mills, how much are you up on that? Anyway, so you just made 120,000. You need 105. Well, hold on. Your salary is 105. Okay, Mr. Mills, you did 1,300%. That's what I'm saying. I at least do, 10x minimum. And so he up 1,300%, right? So I don't know how to squeeze the leaps. Uh, well, Brandon, right now you just hold my hand right now. So we work together. I got you what you need. As far as seeing some of the stuff that I see right now, you just playing that ping pong game. I'm getting you. I'll do all of that. That's why I said I got you back. And so you just riding with me right now. So when I get into something, you're like, oh, okay, I see what takes you, right? So you good. You good. Are these leap and premiums taught within the one-on-one? Yeah, I can teach it. Yeah. If somebody asks for me to teach it, yeah, I'll teach it. Even in the Zoom one-on-one, yeah, I'll teach it. But yeah, that's how we do it. And so, anywho, you got $120,000. And you said you make 105 salary, which means you're not taking home 105. Correct? I'm not gonna get everybody in your pockets too much, but when I was making that type of money, my take home was about 85,000. Okay. Yeah, I'm about right. So you take home 80K, you just made 120. You have now enough to cover. So we'll say 30%. They're gonna hit you for, let's just call it 30K. So now you got 90 left. That means you can take 10K and put it with the 20 that was churning out them shares and churning out profits. You take that 10, you put it over there, right? So you pay your taxes on the 120. That was $30,000 in taxes. You got 90 left. You take 10 of that and you put it into the shares that's making money. Now you got 80,000. You just bought yourself a year. So now, if you wanted to quit your job, you have a strategy that works. You bought yourself a year to trade. You don't have to, I gotta make this money this month. No, I got a year, baby. Let's go. I got 80K in the account. Then that's when you get to playing this game on a whole nother level. See, I got different levels to play the game at. I have another level of playing the game. You got 80K that buys you another year of living expenses, but the 80K can sit in a high yield account. The high yield account might kick you out 4%. So while you're waiting to spend the money monthly, you're getting kicked out 4% on the backside. Hey man, look, I'm a strategist. This is what I do. He said, "You talking that shit, Tay? That's right. I got y'all, man. I got you." Mhm. It's different. That's right. It's different levels. It's different levels. See, I can talk. Once again, this is just strategy. That's like, I ain't even teaching you how to trade. That's why I came on here. I said, listen, man, I need to go talk to the people. Because ain't nobody really talking about strategy mentally, emotionally, physically. I teach you physical strategies too. Ain't too many people talking about strategy. That's what I teach. When people are like, oh, what kind of coach are you? I can teach you indicators and I can teach you how to, look at charts and all of that stuff. That's cool. I can teach you how to read balance sheets. But y'all got enough of that on Instagram. And now, to be fair, don't I personally will say ain't nobody on Instagram or YouTube who fuck with me when it comes to technical trading. That's not ain't a now. Nope. Not who's a teacher. Nah. Respectfully, There's nobody on the internet who can touch me when it comes to that. But I digress. Them said, not a soul. Yeah, ain't nobody will touch me on that. But I don't even need to teach you that. I'm a strategist. I can teach you the strategies. So if you wanted to quit your job, the goal is not to find out how to pay monthly bills or how to make money monthly to pay. Your goal is how to find out how to make yearly money. I need this per year. Cool. Once you get that for a year, you now have a year of clarity and clear thinking that allows you to trade with a clear mind because you're not on the clock for next month's bills. All right. And then once again, when I told you, open up that time frame, that allows you to then, instead of I got to hurry up and get out of this trade, it needs to give me 10%. It needs to give me this by tomorrow or by next week or by the end of the month. You don't have to play that game. You kick that shit out. Now you have yearly money. And here's the beauty. I just gave you more money in that account, right? So you have another 10,000 in an account. So instead of now doing let's call it 2,000 a month, now you're doing $3,000 a month that can be pushed into leaps and options, right? And then now it can start growing. And then if it grows quicker than you expect, what'll start to happen is you'll start getting to the point where you're like, I just made 500K. And it's like, you just bought yourself 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and you can put more money back in. Strategy. That's it. How can I buy myself more time? That's it. Mm-hmm. Somebody said this is a clone. They doing me like Gucci now? That's crazy. That's crazy. They say I'm a clone. That's crazy. I take that as a compliment, though. Say, damn, if this is that good, I can only imagine what the value of the one-on-one. Yeah, ask the chat. There's a few people here who sat down with me. Yeah, ask the chat, man. I got y'all back. I do my best to help. All right. Brother Jesse in the building was good. I have learned so much in these last 2 weeks. The situation allowed me to study, chart back test, and I haven't traded. Next week is gonna be fire. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, man, they forcing it. Look, it looked like you're gonna have to cash your check it because yeah, man, like yeah, they going crazy, bro. So, brother Jesse, I appreciate your patience with the situation. But yeah, these institutions are something interesting, man. Something interesting. So, market's about to close in 1 minute. We've had 2 slow days. I expect tomorrow and Friday to be pretty explosive or pretty bullish. I'll say that. Let's see. I'm in Dorado PR right now. Thanks for so much for your knowledge. Shout out to Dorado, man. That'll always be home too. I love PR, man. Much love to all my Puerto Rican folks. Um, how much time we have left? So I'm probably about to get off here in a few minutes. I got some stuff I need to do. Uh, like I said, I got to get ready. I got a basketball game tonight too, so we'll get ready for that. Well, yeah. So that's the goal, man. Kick your life out as much as possible, and then live on cushion. Now that in itself also takes discipline, because some of you all have never had $80,000 cash in your hand. And so some of you will blow it and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go back to work. That's what happens a lot. I've noticed that too. So once again, I can teach you the strategies. It's up to you to implement them and then be disciplined to stick to them over time. Because I have people with, 150, 500,000 once again, and that buys them years of living, but then they'll show up. Hey, I just bought a McLaren. I'm like, well, well, that was easy. Back to work you go. um, how did you become so disciplined? One of the things I teach anybody I work with, like I said, I'm like the black man version of Wendy Rhodes. One of the things I teach people when they come to my office and they say, Tay, I need help with X, Y, and Z. One of the things I tell them to do with help with discipline is start fasting. So, for example, right now, I have not had solid food for weeks. I've only been juicing, juice, juice, juice. No solid food, no cooked food for weeks, right? Um, and why do I do it? I mean, for one, of course, I'm getting back on my, on my vegan trainer ish, but I also do it because it helps me with my emotional discipline, my mental discipline. If I can say no to my wife's cooking, if I can say no to that pizza that my mother-in-law just ordered, if I can say no to some of these things, then when I got money on the boards, I can say no to, I'm not taking that profit because I know where you need to go. Keep going. That's what happens. Some people, I'm telling you, especially when you get the numbers that's like crazy, like when you start like, hey, I'm up $60,000. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Should I take profit? I'm like, well, if it's going where I think it's going, that's going to turn into 400,000. But man, it's 60K, Tay. I mean, what if it goes down? And I'm like, well, hey, do your thing, baby. You have to push the button, right? Doesn't affect your strength and lifting. No, not me. Um, no, I'm still, I do little stuff, man. I'm not trying to power lift or nothing like that, but I still can front squat body weight. Actually, more than body weight. I can still front squat my body weight. I can still deadlift more than almost two times, 2.5 times. Excuse me. I can two and a half times deadlift my body weight. So I'm sitting around 220 right, 225 right now. So yeah, 500 pounds on the deadlift is lunch. That's lunch. That's easy. Um, yeah, I still bench press. I can rep body weight easily. So 225 for 10, 15 reps. So combine stuff. So I can still do all those things. And yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Um, so yeah, he said I want that Lambo. Yeah, you know about a Lambo. I have a strict rule. I don't buy a car until I make the value of the car monthly. So when I bought that $700,000 Lambo, um, I couldn't buy it. I couldn't buy it until I made at least 700,000 a month. Like that. That was the rule. Now that can be an average because we're traders or investors. So if I need to make 700,000 a month before I buy that Lambo, then that means I need to make what's that 8.4 million a year, right? So if I get throughout the year and I'm like, oh, I made 8.4 million this year, okay, you can buy the Lambo now. Yeah, that's it's clean because I don't believe in faking it till you make it and forcing yourself into a luxury car because that's what a lot of y'all do. That's why y'all thought that I was flossing and flexing. I don't like that. No, when I bought that damn car, I had the cash for it, and that's why I'm glad Brandon he did a whole podcast about it. He's like, this guy just wired me 700K. I'm like, yeah, bro, like I got the cash. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not into flossing and flexing and no, no, I don't like that. So you need to be able to make your car payment or whatever cost of the car is. You need to be able to make that per month before you buy that car. That's how especially when you talk about luxury car. Now, if you buying a fucking Corolla or Camry so you can get to work, do your thing. Do what you got to do. Car note, whatever it is, you got to get to work. This at this point, it's a tool so you can go make more money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you get to the comfortable stuff. Say I want a Mercedes. You don't need a Mercedes. So because you don't need a Mercedes, motherfucker, you need to follow that rule. 1 month, or excuse me, the price of that car needs to be made per month. If you don't do it, that ain't your car. So yeah, once you start, I just say this: once you get over $100,000 in car value, that's the rule. So if you want to go get a $50,000 Mercedes, fine. You don't need to make 50K a month. But when you start getting to those ultra luxury cars, 100K plus, I need 100K a month out of you before you do that. Mhm. Anywho, Michael is 22 in college, working and living with his girlfriend, trying to dig out of that hole. My car's about to break down. I'm broke, and the losses have worn on me. So you're definitely emotional trading because you're trying to dig out of this hole. This is the worst way to do it. The reason why I say that is because trading is I'm sorry, it hurts for some people to hear this. Trading slash investing has always been for people with disposable income. If you bring your ass to the market because you broke, that's the worst way to trade. The worst. Say I lost my job, I need to learn how to trade. Get out of here. Investing is for people with disposable income. Otherwise, yes, you are going to struggle. You will. You will struggle. You will struggle. I hate that because I know a lot of people, they're relying on it. And to be fair, there are times when, people can kind of finagle that rule. But yeah, man, you need a little disposable income. Even if it's just an extra $1,000. Like, Tay, I got a little extra thousand, man. It's not going towards bills. It's not, I can put it. Okay, cool. That's what this is for. It's just disposable income. When you come over here and you strapped for cash, you're in debt, you're living with your you got a lot going on, Michael. I'll be honest with you. And if you are anything like me as a man, right? If you're anything like me as a man, you feel like a fucking bum right now. You feel like a bum. So mentally you're out of it. Because you kind of got to walk into the market. You kind of got to come in with your, I'm the man. Let me get on these charts real quick and show them how I do this, right? You kind of got to come in with a little swag, with a little, you know. So if you coming in with your tail tucked, your head, your chin, your head down, I'm a failure. You bring that same energy in here, and you become a failure over here. How you do anything is how you do everything. So the fact that you telling me what you got going on right now, the fact that you're saying, hey, I'm living with my girlfriend, I'm in debt, I filed bankruptcy, I'm digging out my way out of a hole, my car is about to break down, I'm broke, and the losses have worn. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for you to be a profitable trader that way. I'm not saying it's not possible, but man, you climbing an uphill battle with this type of profile. You're climbing an uphill battle. I can tell you emotionally, like, or just mentally and emotionally, it's going to be very tough for you to be able to become a profitable trader. And then you're trying to force yourself to do it via prop firm. It's going to be very tough, very tough. My suggestion to you, um, I think you're working. I'm trying to read through here. Go get a job though, man. Get a job while you're living with your. Because I can tell you right now, if you, because I can feel in your letter you're down, you're hurt. You're down on yourself. You're down on your luck. And you can't be a good man to any girlfriend down on your luck, right? You can't. So what happens is how you do anything, how you do everything. This email is depressing. I can feel your depression through the email. And so if you're depressed in the email, you're depressed in your regular life. And so when you come home, and if you 22, that means your girlfriend's pretty young too. Y'all dealing with issues you shouldn't have to be dealing with at 22. At this point, to be honest with you, at 22, your girl just want to be beat down. She just want to be beat down nicely. She want to go out, have a little fun. Hey, let's go to the fair. Let's go to the right. I don't know what young folks do nowadays, man, but she just want to go to the fair. She just want to go to the mall or whatever kind of online shopping y'all do, even if it's just buying a little something, man. It ain't gotta be crazy. She just wants a little something. Let's go out to eat. We used to do old Charlie's back in the days, right? She just really she wants some good D She wants some good D, some old Charlies, and the fair, like a Ferris wheel ride or some shit, right? I'm just being honest. At 22, that's all. That's like what was it saying? Girls just want to have fun. Yeah, she 20. If she your age, bro, at 22, she ain't trying to deal with this shit. These grown folks' problems you throwing at her. She ain't trying to deal with that. That's right. Yeah. And so she probably being nice, but I'm promise you, she in the group chat right now. Girl, I don't know what to do to get rid of him. Like, I'm trying to help him because I see he's down on his luck. So what I would suggest you do your best to go get a job, fam. Go get a job. Go do entrepreneurship. Go do some hustle. Knock on doors. Whatever you gotta do, you gotta go get some money and not relying on the market. Then once you start bringing some money in, then you can, maybe start piecing a little bit of it off and putting it in the market, right? Yeah, that's what I would do personally. Because I can tell you, man, I know women. I know women. I've dated enough of them, for number one. Number two, I've worked with so many people, right? Bullish on AI? Yeah, not really. Let's see. Today's a beast at this life stuff. I appreciate your family. You're stressing her out. You can do bad by yourself. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 22 going through that situation is rough. He said, wait a minute, you playing Dr. Phil, Dr. Tayfield now? Yeah, man, Mama Crown this man. He's unstoppable. I mean, like I said, I know I can help. And that's why I said I keep getting to that point. I'm the Wendy Rose, the black man version of Wendy Rose with this stuff, man. And that's why I tell y'all, I know I can help you because I've been through most of this stuff. I've been bankrupt. I've been with a woman when I came, I moved back with my mama when I went bankrupt. So Michael, if I had to tell you anything, because I went through it, if I had to tell you anything, I would say he been Dr. Phil. What you mean? We do what we can, right? If I had to tell you anything, fam, what I would do is, if you can, I'm not sure what your parents' situation look like, move back in with your parents. Now, don't get over there and put your feet up. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Get back over there, especially if you can go back home. See, my mom was savage. I went back and I slept on my mom's living room floor. I told this story in my book. Um, where should I start? You need some education first, family. Down to your last 10K. Once again, you gotta get you some education. Can you advise for those in different age groups, 20, 30, 40, etc.? Same topic. What specific? Because it's gonna be different based on what age group, honestly. So for example, if I'm in my 20s and I fall back to my knees, basically, I'm gonna just say I'm falling to my knees, fall back on my butt, right? I'm moving in with my mom or family, right? Find me some family. It's going to be uncomfortable, which is good. It's uncomfortable. Why? Because you're not supposed to stay there. The goal is not to get there and get comfortable. That's why I said don't kick your feet up and get comfortable. No, get there and make it uncomfortable. My mom tried to give me a bed. She's like, "Hey, we got a bed in here. You can sleep." I said, "No, no, no, no. I need to sleep on the fucking floor. I need to be on the floor. Why? I need this shit to be as uncomfortable as possible because I ain't trying to stay here." Right. Number two, leave women alone. I know it's tough for you, Michael, but I would leave this girl. Like, if you can move back home, I would leave her. I just do her a favor and get on up out of there, man. Because I'm a burden on you. I'm a burden on you. And she'll thank you later. Now, if this all you got, you don't have family to run back home to, talk to her, tell her, like, look, baby, and really mean this. Look, baby, I'm gonna bust my butt. I'm gonna work a job. I'm gonna do what I gotta do and get back on my feet. I'm gonna get back to investing. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make us a lot of money. I'm gonna take care of you one day, right? And you make that your fucking dream. Like, that's what you need to do. If you can't go back home to your parents, but if you go back home to your parents, leave this girl. Leave this girl. Because the last thing your focus need to be on is women, satisfying a woman sexually. I don't know about y'all, man. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. When I'm stressed, especially about finances, that don't work. I would just be honest. I'm one of them. If I'm stressed about finances, get off me. I don't no. We ain't doing nothing. Get off me. I got stuff to do. I got things I need to accomplish. Mm-mm. Nope. 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 Get off of me. So yeah, man. Like I said, if she's 22 or she's around your age and she, like I said, she just wants some good, she just wants some good. She wants some good wood, right? You can't give her good wood this stressed out. Not at all. Oh, let's see, I told her about it. She stood by my side. Okay, yo, I got him live. Okay, good. I got you live. I got you live. This is good. Okay, perfect. So you're here live. So you said I told her and she stood by my side. Okay, good. Now, the fact she's gonna stand by your side, that's good. So that's why I said the alternative path here, if you don't leave her and go back home with your parents, if you're gonna stay with her, right? Number one, I'm gonna just be honest with you. See, this is what a lot of men don't want to do. When you are being kind of floated and taken care of, you got to be real submissive. I'm gonna be honest with you. So whatever she wants, you might well just go and bury your face in it. Like you going whatever she wants. You need to try to do your best to, take care of her. You need to be cooking food. First of all, you need to be hustling. You need to be hustling, right? But when y'all get home together and stuff like that, babe, what you want to eat? I'm gonna do my best. Hey, what you feeling today? I seen this little thing on YouTube. I'm gonna try to whip you up a little something, right? I'm being honest with y'all. When you're in that seat and she taking care of things, I'm working 2 jobs right now. I'm going to propose to her later this year. We've been together since high school. You got you a good one, and she damn sure deserves a ring. So yeah, I will propose to her as well for sure. Yeah. Now here's the thing though. Get the cheapest ring that you can find and tell her this is a token of my love. I'm gonna just give you a little game right now. This is a token of my love and my appreciation. And this is a token of also my commitment of where I want to take this. Will you marry me? Right. And now it shows her you in it, right? You're in it. And then you can say, hey, I can't give you the wedding that I want to give you right now. But this is showing you that I'm committed to us, right? And then from there, work your ass off. Like you said, you got 2 jobs, which is good. That's solid. Work your 2 jobs, do your thing. But yeah, if y'all in it, I commend you. You got you a good one. So you might want to marry her for sure. Not might, you should marry her for sure. Demetrius, man, we gotta help. We gotta help my guy, man, because yeah, this is serious. And that's right. You can't now see this goes into why I stayed with my ex-wife so long. Because somebody said, please don't leave her when you get rich. That's why I stayed with my ex-wife. I saw the red flags with my ex-wife well before I divorced her. Well before I divorced her. The reason why I stayed with my ex-wife is because I was in your same scenario. I told my ex-wife, I said, hey, because we met when I was broke. I was already broke. I said, hey, now, I just lost my house, my cars, like my job. I lost it all and I had to file bankruptcy. And I'm on my get back now. I'm sleeping on my mom's floor and I'm on my get back. I'm working to get myself back, on my feet. Same thing. I was about 22, 23. And she was like, I give it 6 months. So that's why I say I'm not against you staying there. If she, now she didn't take care of me. I stayed with my mom, right? So I've been in your same situation, right? That's right, 100%. I came into the market the wrong way. Yeah. Yeah. I pray no one does what I did. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm telling people facts. You better know. So yeah, some of y'all know my story, man. Y'all been here. So yeah, my ex-wife said I give you 6 months. I said, okay, cool. She saw me. I got my certification. I was working at a warehouse. and still, in the gym and trying to do my thing. And personal training started to take off. Well, I passed my certification. Personal training started to take off. Did my thing there. Started making some decent money. Cool. Well, what happened was she turned into something I didn't want her to turn into in the middle of that relationship. So 2, 3 years in, I'm like, this might not work. But 3 years in, I'm making 300-400K a year now. So I'm like, oh, I can't leave her. Like she believed in me. I'm like, I can't do this. So 3 years in, man, I'm 25, 26. I'm like, what do you do? I can't leave this girl now. She believed in me, right? And so, some of the people need you. I appreciate you, Ro, for sure. She gave you an ultimatum. And that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if it's belief. She gave me an ultimatum. That's fair. That's fair. But think about it. The reason why I say she believed in me, because think about, especially now, some of y'all make 80K a year and women won't give you a chance. I'm laughing at you, but women are crazy now. Some of y'all actually have jobs and make 70, 80K a year, and women won't give you a chance. So that's why I'm saying. So I had to be mindful of that. And like, well, this woman gave me a chance, and I told her I was sleeping on my mom's floor. So I was like, I gotta, I gotta give her a chance, man. I gotta, I can't leave her now that I'm up, right? I can't leave her now that I'm up. And that's also why I tell fellas to, get your look together, get in the gym, get your weights, stuff like that. Because what pulled me through, because I had to, you know, she was like, "I'll take you, little broke boy. Shit, you look good, right? Come on in." Now I said you gotta be willing to, you gotta do a little something, because what else you coming with, right? I always tell people, I say, look, when you ain't making that type of money, the eggplant hit different. Hey, broke ninja eggplant hit different. Boy, I was knocking down barns. When you ain't got it, oh, I'm gonna give it then. Like, oh, when I ain't got it financially, oh, I'm gonna give it. Hey, it hit different. I'm being honest with you. All right. So, he said, so it does work. Well, by this time, like I said, I'm making my way up though, right? So by this time, I'm not like broke. So, but I told her, I was like, look, I'm making my way up. I'm still sleeping on mom's floor, right? I'm on my way up. I just got my certification. So she was like, I'll give you 6 months to see like what the certification does. So I was like, okay, I got my certification. Things are looking up, right? Now, by this time, I already had a job. So I had already been working. Otherwise, I wouldn't even gone out. Because like I said, what are we doing? People go out while they broke? I'm like, what are you doing? So I went out. It was a Christmas party. I went out at the Christmas party because I was up, not a lot, but I was up from where I'm coming from, right? So I'm making decent money. I'm like $3,000 a month. So it wasn't too crazy. Working at this warehouse. I'll never forget that warehouse, man. Advanced Composites. That's why I was working. We work with like car materials. But anywho, um, that's right. So anywho, man, so I'm making decent money. So I told her, I was like, look, I'm on my mom's floor. I'm figuring it out. I just filed bankruptcy. I'm figuring things out, right? And so, like I said, she said, I'll give you 6 months to kind of see where you go with this, right? And so I was like, I got my, certification. I'm going to start personal training here pretty soon. Um, right, they perform. Yeah, like got something to lose. So anywho, she said, I'll give you 6 months. Within that 6 months, I get into a gym. I start making money. So I got to like 6, 7 thousand a month just within that range working in the gym. The way I got in that gym is I started sweeping the floor. I went in there. I said, hey, look, I'll sweep the floors for free. I'll wash the windows. I'll take care of the equipment as far as like oiling it down and stuff like that. I'll do everything for free. Just let me stay in here. And when new clients come in, you kick me some new clients, right? And they were like, man, that's a deal. So I Swiffer the floors, sweep the floor, stuff like that, wash the big window that we had up front. We had little sweat towels. I'll make sure once they put the sweat towels in the bin, I'd wash all the sweat towels, dry them, fold them, put them back up front, make sure things. I just make sure it was nice. So I was a maid, to be honest. I was a gym keeper. They call it a housekeeper, but I was a gym keeper, right? So I did all the stuff they didn't want to do. So I was like, I just come in here, I work for free. Yeah, working double shifts at that time. And so luckily I had a good friend. Shout out to Ed. A lot of y'all know Ed. He would literally pick me up. He picked me up from one job, take me to the other one, then he go to work. Right. Like, so my boy had my back. So I didn't have a car either. So yeah, I'm standing on my mom's floor, no car, and then I'm just stacking the money that I'm making. Luckily, or not luckily, but I didn't have a stock market at that time because I wasn't there yet. But luckily, I started learning about the stock market around then. So that's when we started having those conversations. But anywho, man. So yeah. So people ask me, what would I do in my 30s and 40s if this happened and you can't go back to your parents' house? What I would do is either number one, find a family member who got your back, who's willing to take you in. And once again, you can't be shitty though, man. Don't drink the last of the fucking orange juice. Like you got to be mindful of people, man. You got to be uh, considerate. So if I'm coming to live with you, I want to be as out the way as possible. Because if you forget that I live here, then you don't mind me staying, right? You don't mind me staying. But then not only that, while I'm there, let me be helpful. You need something cleaned up around here? Shit, like, can I help clean? Can I cut the grass? Can I be helpful? Because what happens is most people don't want y'all to move in with them because you shitty. You shitty. You see a little bit. Look, I got some oranges right. You see this much orange juice left over? You go in there out the fuck. Look, you drink the rest of it. And whoever in the house probably like, hey, I was saving that. That was gonna be my last little orange. So literally, I had a rule. If I moved in somebody's house, I'll just buy whatever I'm gonna eat. I ain't gonna eat y'all food. If you let me stay there, I at least gotta make enough money to buy my own food. That's right. Don't add to the BS. You gotta take away from the BS, right? That's right. Don't even replace it. Yeah. So if you're gonna drink the last orange juice, buy another orange juice, motherfucker. Like make sure it's in place, right? And so that if you're gonna move in with family, just make sure you out the way and you're helpful. Cook a few meals. Hey man, I'm taking Wednesdays and Fridays. Shit, Chef Tay coming in. I'm gonna throw some stuff down, man. Y'all put some money in the pot. I'll go get the groceries and I'll cook the food. Like, be helpful. Be somebody who's like, man, this was pleasant having you here. Shit, this was pleasant. Be pleasant to be around. A lot of you motherfuckers, y'all getting in there, you just, I don't want to live with you. Get out. I'm not in any AI stocks, fan. You, you've been asking that damn question for the last hour. I'm not in any AI stocks. It's funny seeing you with Grace now. What's good, family? Yeah, man. We got a little Grays now. We're making it look good. My wife, she going crazy over these Grays. She's like, "Ooh, I got me a silver fox coming in." I'm like, "Yeah, baby, you know what's up." Shit. Um, yeah, make yourself useful. That's facts. So yeah, man. So yeah, a lot of people who are in their 30s and 40s, if you're back at this situation and your mom and dad is not an option, find a friend or a close acquaintance who you can room with. And if you like bottom of the barrel, like broke, then yeah, I got you. I got you. Then wow, was some good times, man. Um, but yeah, all good, Smitty. That's right, go get that money. So yeah, man. Um, I can stop this. We're not even on charts right now, but um, but yeah, it's just a lot of this stuff just comes down to just being a good person. And like I said, if you don't have family that you can run to, um, do your best to maybe get you a what I would do, especially if I don't have uh, kids or a wife. I go get a van. I go get a van or a big car that I can sleep in, and then I'll also get a membership at a really nice gym. Might cost you, 150 a month, but if you got a Lifetime somewhere close, I go to Lifetime. I go to Lifetime. I'd sleep in the car. Make sure you can get your cell phone too, with some Wi-Fi or some hotspot. And so, yeah, I'd sleep in the car while I'm making my money because you need to be working, making your money. I'd shower at the gym. I'd take my coffee at the gym. I'd like, especially at Lifetime, they got the Lifetime Cafe. I'd work out. I'd shower. I'd have coffee. I'd have my tea. I'd have breakfast, whatever it is. I'd have it there, right? And then I'd go to work. That's what I would do, person. Since I've been working out. Oh, I've been trading, excuse me, for 6 years. I feel you can take me to the next level. To get to potential. I'm down for a lot of deals. Well, I wouldn't suggest you do a one-on-one. Email me. You got the email. As a matter of fact, it's info@stbwithtay.com. So email me. And if anybody wants to, like Tay, I need help. Can you help me? I'm gonna send you an email. Email me info@stbwithtay.com. But Justin, in the subject, put one-on-one, please. And I'll personally go answer it. I got you. But yeah, man, that's something I would do. Something like that. They don't know the sacrifices. No, they don't. They don't. Um, I'm gonna give me an RV and put in the whole family in there. You'll understand once they get older. Yeah, I mean, yeah, RV is good, but RV a little bit more expensive. That's why I said just get a little car, minivan, something like that. Thank you, Ro. Yeah, Ro just put in the actual email address. Appreciate you, Ro. But yeah, man, I definitely go do something that something more affordable, and yeah, I just crank that out. Um, that's probably gonna be your most freedom based way of doing it. And then as far as food goes, I'd fast. I'd only eat one meal a day anyway. I ain't got no money now anyway, so I might well fast. So I'd fast one meal a day. The rest of the time I'm working one, two, three jobs, right? Whatever I can find. Right? I'm on my grind. I'm hustling. One meal a day. One meal a day. Glad I hopped on to catch this. I was waiting on that email. But yeah, Michael. So yeah, to finish that out, man. Yeah, keep doing your thing, keep working, stack up, save your money. Don't now personally, I would say since y'all gonna do this thing together, man, yeah, go ahead and marry that girl. Go ahead and marry her, man. She deserves it. Especially she gonna help you, come up. When you get that money though, when you start making some good money, don't you leave that woman. Don't you leave that woman. Once again, going back to myself, when I did divorce my wife, my ex-wife, when I divorced her, I left her with some money. I literally I asked her what you want. I asked, I said, I get it. You've been here since the beginning. I was your stock. You invested in me. I was your stock. You've been here since the beginning. What you want? I asked her. She said she wanted $1 million. She wanted 1.1. I gave her 1.1 million. So if you just have to leave right. That's just my suggestion. Leave right. Okay. But if not, man, y'all take this. It's tough to find people who believe in you, who are willing to go through hell with you. So hold her tight for sure. Let's see, you gotta get uncomfortable. You want to be anywhere. You want to be, yeah. Not a lot of people will even feel uncomfortable. Well, it's a Capricorn thing, man. You know how we do. That's also a Capricorn thing. I sent the email today, but I rushed it because I saw it. We were going live today. Yeah, your emails. I'm not going to read them same day. All right, so yeah, I got to give me some time, but just show up for them. Anytime I go live, just show up. I like to think that this was a really good session, so just show up. I got you. Hey, Tate, currently 30 this year, making 135,000 with some debt, about 20K left, no huge interest. I've been waiting. I've been wanting to get back into trading, but I want to focus on the debt. We have about 5K in savings, and I have a lot more. I have a lot more, but I had bad investments and gambled. I was being dumb. I'm currently about to get married, top of 2027. My wife knows of the predicament and is working with me. Any suggestions? Be open with her. Yeah, be open. Continue to be open with her. That's one of my favorite things. I'm gonna keep it real. Am I accepting new people in the SCB? No, no. Unless you've been in the Discord for a while, and even then, the lifetime fee to get in the SCB 30K. And I do that on purpose. I don't want you in there. I don't want anybody new coming in. So I made it 30K, and you had to be in the Discord and showing up. I need to kind of know you because people they come in and they steal. So I don't want people stealing from you. So that's one thing. But if you DM me, man, I might have something else for you. I might do something else for you. But keep it real with with your lady. Do what you can, and then it comes a time where you got to get back to investing. That 5K, or I'm not sure if you're trying to take that 5K and invest it, but that 5K you're trying to invest, um, if you're gonna invest it, shares only, longer term, give yourself time, but you gotta study. What are you aiming for? What are you trying to do with it? So that's the thing. But also, cut some expenses. 135,000 a year is a solid amount of money. If you can't bank 10% of that, and I'm being very generous, if you can't hold on to 1,300 a month, you're spending too much money. So you got to find out how to cut down on some spending. And it might even be uncomfortable. I'm not sure if your wife works, but if she works too, and you can't bank any money off of what you make, yeah, you're in a tough situation, fam. And I know a lot of people who are going through stuff like this, right? They say even some millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck. So, so yeah, I'm going to suggest you cut down on some spending. And it's little shit, man. Amazon is a pain in the ass. You spend a lot of, you'd be surprised how much you spend on Amazon. So now I'm able to save 1,200 a month, but I'm working a second job for the debt. Well, here's the thing. Here's my thing about debt. If the way I do debt, and I'm not telling you to do this, but the way I'd like to do debt, or I do debt, they're gonna get the minimum from me. And I'm gonna invest my extra. You gotta do it wisely, right? No gambling, just invest it. So if I owe, I remember at one point in time I had, let's just call it $100,000 in debt, right? And so if I owe $100,000 in debt, I'm not working my ass off to pay you that debt back. No, the extra that I got. So let's say if I'm gonna give you an extra, if the minimum is $1,000 a month on that money, right? But I'm trying to knock it down quick, so I'm gonna give you 5,000 a month. No, I'm gonna give you the 1,000 minimum. I'm gonna take 4K a month. I'm going to invest it, and my 4K a month, that thing might double, triple within the next year or two, right? Or not even two, just next year maybe, right? And so 4K a month, let's just call it over time that get you $40,000. $40,000 goes to 120,000. At $120,000, I only had 100,000 in debt. I've been paying the minimums. I can pay off my debt, and I got 20K left over, right? And so that's just like a quick, right? Okay, okay, so long. Okay, so that's a little different. That's a little different. That's a go. I understand. Okay, yeah, that's a little different. Um, yeah, they got you. They got you hemmed up for sure. Paying that much money a month. What was that loan for? What was that loan for? I'm about to get off here in a few, anywho. But yeah, if you can tell me what that loan was for, that'll be helpful. Um, but yeah, to finish, my guys, I just want to, this live is really fire. I appreciate you, family. I'm feeling like I'm on my, my Dave Ramsey, I'm on my Dave Ramsey-ish, but I'm able to, put a different our spin on it, right? And then also talk about more trading and stock related stuff. So that's why I wanted to do this, man, because I feel like, I've done enough living to be helpful. So I wanted to be helpful. Right? So I was do the poor. I do to the cover losses. I had good credit. Just saying, okay, yeah. So you just have a string of bad decisions. That's all that is. And so I learned from my mistakes. It's okay. Yeah, we all got bad decisions, man. You know, we all got some bad decisions we're recovering from, right? Just do what you can, create you some good karma. Do right by people, do right by your wife, save your money, do what you can. Not to overspend. No trips. I know your wife probably won't take a trip here and there. I need to stay grounded for a while y'all level it up. Okay. I hate it when I was, coming up. I hated traveling minimally, right? It's like, hey, let's go to Florida. And it's like, well, we need to go like Priceline. I need to go get the cheapest room you can find. Like, nah, let's save up our money, you know. So when we travel, we can travel nice. Mm-hmm. It brings about awareness. That's right. That's right. So, man, look, I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was great. I enjoyed it for sure. Y'all know the rule once again. Got any emails? Once again, you got a situation you want to talk about? Just shoot me an email, man. I'll print it off. I'll go over it. We'll talk about your situation. I'll be posting these to my YouTube, so you'll have that on YouTube, and then also just the overall replay will be on Instagram because we are live here. And then other than that, man, we'll just keep having fun. I'll do this as long as it's helpful and as long as I'm having fun with it. As soon as it becomes boring or it becomes a pain in the ass, I'm out. I'll be honest with y'all. As soon as it becomes a pain in the ass, I'm out. Right. And so to reiterate what I said earlier, I'm just doing this on my own time. Like, you know, there won't be any set times or dates or, hey, when do you go live? I go live when I want to. Right. That's just it. So I go live when I want to, when I got some free, when the market is slow, I'll go live, whatnot. But I don't want to make this a job. I don't want to make this something that I have to show up for. This is just me being helpful. I'll be here as long as I'm helpful and as long as this doesn't become a job. All right. So I got y'all back. Other than that, love y'all, man. Y'all take care. I appreciate y'all being here as long as y'all been here. It's been a really good class, really long class, or a really long, but it's been good. So y'all take care, and God willing, I'll see y'all maybe tomorrow or Friday. Who knows? This market is slow right now, so maybe I'll be here tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. All right. Y'all take care, man. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Y'all have a good one too.